All right, 17-6A, we are joined by Jersey Village head coach David Snokhous. Coach, talk to me a little bit about last year, because interesting thing about your team is you were with freshman quarterback last year. Same thing happened at Side Creek, and that was a COVID year, so you didn't have much practice time. It's an interesting run, and how did it work out for you as far as, teaching him the ropes, teaching Adam the ropes?
Well, like you said, it was very interesting. We took some hits early, but as the season went on and he got confident, he actually ended up doing a heck of a job. I can remember in the playing Cy-Fair, which, we get beat, can't even remember the score, pretty handedly. And I told someone, I said, that's the turning point of the season. They all looked at me like, what do you mean? Well, remember when Adam's eyes were like this, and it was just like, wow. But I think at that time of the year, defensively, we turned it over 6 times. Not saying we would, if we didn't, that was going to change the outcome, but our defense really stepped up and went from there. And, after that game, I told Adam, I said, don't worry about it. There ain't nobody better. You're going to play for a long time. So, and, the rest is history. He went on and did a heck of a job.
I was going to say that, and taking his lumps that year, as you get to the end of the year, you're sitting there thinking, all right, I got this kid for 3 more years.
Yeah.
He's already proven that he's not scared no more. So let's see what happens. Is that kind of how you feel? Because you have a lot of young, skilled position players coming back, and especially with Rashawn Estes, and then, of course, Quincy's going to be a senior. But talk about how being able to gel with that quarterback as a freshman is going to help throughout his.
Well, number one, the experience he got is invaluable. I mean, you can't replace that. Like I said, he became comfortable after each play. More and more he played, the better he got. He had a good nucleus around him. We got a lot of people back that are young. Rashad back there is a running back. Also have Quentin Jones, who's a freshman, who also played as a freshman as a running back. And then the receiving core, I think, besides Mike Evans, we got them all back. So, we're missing 3 or 4 linemen, but I think those are all replaceable. Biggest thing is the confidence level and the experience. I thought when we ended up getting beat to Ridge Point, which is another thing, but I think that might have been Adam's best game. I mean, I think he threw for 260 yards and, I don't know, 2 or 3 touchdowns, but he played like a veteran that day, was very confident, and everybody around him gelled. We just didn't get a break or 2 to win that, but it's exciting, and hopefully, we got to replace, like I said, some linemen, but hopefully we got a chance. So.
Yeah, that was a hot team you ran into in the playoffs, because Ridge Point went on to go a couple rounds there. But you talk about
Right.
The turning point at the beginning of last year. Heck, I mean, you're coming out of almost no practice time during the summer, and you ended up losing your first 3 games. But a lot of teams could be like, okay, that's a wrap. We're just going to have to get through this thing. But you guys fought back and got a playoff spot in a tough district. Talk about how that may be able to help build the confidence and lead into this year, where a lot of teams are hitting with graduation in that district. I know Cy-Fair has some graduation and Houston Memorial as well, but talk about how maybe your confidence with your younger guys grew as the season went on.
Well, I think you're right. As the season went on, we got better and better. The biggest thing we had to do is keep their heads up after the first couple, 2, 3 games where we things didn't go the way we had anticipated. And again, when you're looking at the quarterback situation and then experience, and then actually having to play a freshman to, quote, be the team leader from an offensive standpoint, like I said, time took over, and but the kids never gave up. Defensively, like I said in the fair game, I think we grew up, and that helped with what we lacked offensively from a standpoint. We had some good senior leadership. We played a lot better defense than we have in the past. And then, each week those pups got better. And, I'll give my coaches credit for doing what we thought we could do well. And we took advantage of what we did well. And we had some kids step up. they saw, where we started and what we started with and what we had to fix, but they never lost their sight on trying to be one of them four. And, little luck we got in.
You talked a lot. We've talked a lot about your offense, but what your defense can do was get to the quarterback last year. I mean, and those guys are coming back with Suarez and Walthrath. Talk about those guys and how your defense is going to hold up for this year.
Well, defensively, like I said, we got after it and started playing pretty well. I had some good kids, senior leadership. We lost some good kids. Andre Fields, linebacker, was probably he found a way to make plays. Smart, quick, wasn't very big, but if you gave him an opportunity to take a shot, he was going to do it, and we made some plays. Landon Suarez, he missed 2 games because of COVID, but he came back and led the district in sacks. And you talk about the leader, that kid has done a heck of a job for us this offseason. He's sort of the big man in the locker room. He's going to hold you accountable. And I have to give our kids credit through all this in this offseason. It's been a good one. I think our attendance was about 95%. Defensively, like you said, we gelled, we made plays. They were fun to watch. They enjoyed playing. Those kids had a great time.
Excellent. I guess finally, let's take a look at the district as a whole going into this upcoming year. I mean, you obviously have your side fairs and your Houston Memorials, but you also got that Side Creek team over there that's got a sophomore quarterback too running out there, and Brad Jackson.
Yeah, Jackson's. He is. He had a heck of a year too for Side Creek. Greg does a great job with those kids. They'll be someone to reckon with. Like always, our district's going to be tough from top to bottom. You better show up and play every week. There at the end, Creek was gelling pretty well from an offensive standpoint, and that's been their forte for the last couple of years. It'll be interesting to see what happens, though.
Can't wait to see what happens, and I appreciate you joining me this morning. I can't wait I'm ready for August 26th already. Let's get this thing going.
Well, I am too. I sort of going to miss my start in late September from the heat factor. That was pretty good, but we are too. We're looking forward to it. Getting ready to get out of school and have a couple of weeks off and get these kids back to going. And I appreciate you letting us talk about football today.
No problem.